Hi, welcome back. Let's talk Olaplex. So many of you have asked for this video to the point where when I teased it, now you keep saying to me, have I missed the Olaplex video? When's the Olaplex video coming? This is the Olaplex video. It's not sponsored. I have been sent all of these products to test and try, and I wanted to do it properly. I wanted to test every single step. I wanted to see if it worked on my hair. I knew that the in-salon step 1 and step 2 worked brilliantly on my hair, but with the other products. Let's start by the fact that Olaplex have a brand new product out, and it is step 0, which seems a bit crazy, but that's because they started with step 1 and step 2 back in the day. What is Olaplex? Olaplex is an absolutely unique way of repairing damage in your hair. It repairs the sulphur bonds within the hair, and when it was launched, I remember this is step 1. I remember it being used as a treatment on my hair and then also being added to my hair colour. So it could be used to repair damaged hair or to prevent damage when you colour your hair, because if you think about how your hair is made up, you have keratin and keratin, two large molecules of protein that are linked by sulphur bonds. And when you wash your hair actually, but when you heat your hair, when you colour your hair, when you perm your hair, when your hair gets older and you rough treat it, all those things, it essentially breaks the sulphur bonds and the keratin starts to fall apart and you get split ends and you get broken hair and it starts to break off when you have a perming, straightening treatment that shouldn't have been done on your hair. Anyway, when I was first introduced to Olaplex, it was to repair hair that was being coloured. And I know for a fact that the hairstylist in question was adding step 1, which is the professional strength one, to my hair colour. And then every so often I would go in and they would use step 1 and then step 2 on top, and they would sort of steam my hair for half an hour. And it was an intense conditioning reparative treatment. Now here's the thing with Olaplex. A lot of people expect their hair to be instantly softer and shinier and sort of almost silky, like it's had some sort of moisture protein silicone treatment, and actually it doesn't do that at all. It truly rebuilds your hair and makes your hair stronger, but that doesn't necessarily mean that straight away you're going to notice your hair being shinier and softer and easier to manage. That's not the case. What you will notice, and which I noticed from the very first time I had it, is that when I then brushed my hair, I didn't get all the little broken off pieces, so that my hair was essentially no longer snapping and breaking off and no longer splitting. And it enabled me, prior to this damage that I had, which was nearly 2 years ago now, to grow my hair the longest and healthiest it's ever grown. So it works. The active ingredient is something called Bisaminol Dipropyl Dimaleate. In other words, bad. BADD. I made that joke at the launch of Olaplex Zero. Now, bearing in mind I was the oldest person on the Zoom call, everybody was looking at me going, what? I was like, it's bad. Totally inappropriate, I know. I'm so sorry. I can only apologise for myself, Olaplex. Anyway, let's talk about the different steps, because there are now currently 8 products within the range. So let's start and talk about how they work. This is step 1. This is step 2. These are the in-salon only treatments. You cannot get these, well, I did, but you cannot get these available on the high street. So this is as close as you can get to 100% Bisaminol Dimaleate. Bad. Now, the companies say it's 100%, but it has other active ingredients in it as well. I think it's got, let's have a look, it's got water, and then it's got the bad in it, then it's got the sodium benzoate and the phenol oxyl ethanol, which is essentially water, the active ingredient, and then just at a very low level, 2 preservatives in it to keep it safe and easy to use. So it's not 100%. It's watery, and as Michelle Lab Muffin says, who's by far smarter than me and has done a lot of research into this, that this would not normally have a watery feeling. Now also, the bad only works when the hair's wet, so it does need to be in a water carrier for it to get into your hair. Now, how do salons use this? This one they can mix into your colour, they can mix into your perm, they can mix into your straightening serum, but it can also just be used on freshly shampooed hair, and it can be left to be steamed in. It's normally diluted sort of 10-to-1 in water, essentially. And then it's left on the hair. It works incredibly quickly. It works within like 10 minutes. It doesn't take ages to work at all, but it's normally steamed on the hair. That's normally left on the hair for about 10 minutes and then it's coated with that. And this is the next step down. This is step number 2. Now, Michelle was saying that she considers this probably to be about 20 to 15%. Now, what this does essentially is if you put this on your hair will start to dry out. If you cover it with that, you'll trap the water in. Bad only works when the hair's wet, so the two of them work well together. Now, at this point, Olaplex were doing brilliantly. They knew that it worked. The salons adored it, but people wanted at-home products to take home. Obviously, they were like, they'd invested in having an Olaplex treatment, but they wanted something to use at home. So at this point, Olaplex launched number 3. And as you can see, mine is fairly well used now. Olaplex number 3 is essentially an at-home conditioning cream that contains the bad. And it's probably at around, and trust me, these are guesses, because Olaplex will not, they say it's the proprietary knowledge, proprietary ingredient. They don't want to tell you what percentages they are. This is sitting probably at around 12.5%. So you go from sort of between 50 and 80% down to 20% roughly, down to 12.5%. It makes sense because you would obviously only use that once every quarter, followed by that as a treatment, but this you'd use virtually every time you wash your hair. Then obviously the consumers wanted a shampoo and a conditioner, so they launched the shampoo and the everyday conditioner. Now, they are really lovely, low level, non-really foaming, gentle caring conditioners. They've got a low kind of silicone level in them. My hair absolutely loves silicone. I don't have a problem with it at all. The shampoo and conditioners are definitely sitting below 10% of the active ingredient, but that's not why you're using them. You're using it as part of a regime to care for your hair so that you don't essentially re-damage your hair after having an Olaplex treatment. Then people like me were using number 3 slightly incorrectly, in the sense that we were using it as a leave-in. I love a conditioning cream. So we were using it as a leave-in conditioning cream. And then Olaplex launched number 6, which is a leave-in conditioning cream. Now, here's the thing about 6 and 7, because 6 is a leave-in conditioning cream that you then blow dry in your hair. 7 is the oil that I had used in my hair in the salon the other day. I love both of them, but the problem is that they only work on your hair for a short period of time, because once they're dried into your hair, the bisaminol, God, let me get this again, the Bisaminol Dipropyl Dimaleate only works when the hair's wet. So even if you were to apply any of these steps and leave them on overnight, if your hair dries out, the minute your hair dries out and has no water in it, you can't, because the water is needed to basically separate the bonds and get the sulphur to rebuild. It doesn't work. So that is steps 1 to 7. I've used all of them. They all work. Even the oil works beautifully on my hair, although personally I do prefer the blow dry cream. The shampoo and conditioner I can take or leave. The steps 1 and 2 are amazing. If people always say to me, should I buy Olaplex? I always say to them, yes, 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 but please go into a salon and get steps 1 and 2. You need that professional strength treatment to really repair your hair. The others are just preventing further damage down the line. Then Olaplex launched Zero. And they launched Zero because they'd heard people like me say to people, you need to go in and have the steps 1 and 2. Well, this is the closest you can get to steps 1 and 2 to use at home. And if I show you what it looks like, you'll understand why. So, and the reason it's been called step 0 is because as you go further up the numbers, the percentage of the active ingredient decreases. Well, I did ask what the percentage of bad was in this. This is essentially an at-home equivalent of this, step 1. They wouldn't tell me how much, but I'm presuming it's sitting at 30–40%. And it works, and it's brilliant. Okay, it's not as good as the salon one, but it's the closest you're going to get. You apply it to damp hair. So what I would do is I would shampoo my hair when my hair's still damp, I would apply this all over. You apply this on and leave it for 10 minutes, just as you do the professional treatment. And then in the kit, you get a tiny little 3, but you can easily buy more 3 as well. And the reason you put the 3 over the top is the same reason that in the salon you use 1 and 2. It essentially then traps the moisture into the hair so that the active ingredient can work for longer, because the minute your hair starts to dry out, the bad stops working. It's absolutely brilliant. It's the closest you can get to an in-salon system 1 and 2 at home. So it fills that gap. I presume Olaplex would like to sell this, but the salons won't let them because the salons want something that's salon strength. But what you've got is this, which bridges the gap. The whole thing is available at Space NK. It's available at a few places online, but if you want to go in and actually look at them and smell them, they're really all lightly fragranced. They're really nice products to use. If you're absolutely going to choose a single product, choose the Zero. The Zero kit you get looks like this, and you do get a little 3 in it. I'll be really honest with you, you probably will need more of the 3 as the time goes on. That said, you could apply this to freshly shampooed hair, leave it for 10 minutes to an hour, something like that. It does work really quickly. It works within 10 minutes, if I'm really honest with you. And you could just put any conditioner on top. The idea is simply to keep the hair damp, is to lock the water on the hair. But if you're going to be a purist, obviously you would use Olaplex number 3. I've used all of them. They work without a doubt. This would be a lot more broken and damaged, and I have no styling products on this. I blow dried my hair this morning because I wanted to show you what my hair looked like. Yes, obviously I've used heat on it, but I basically got 0 styling product on this. I wanted to show you what my hair was looking like now, and a lot of people have mentioned it. Here's my, I'm sorry I'm looking over here, I'm just showing there. Here's my breakage here. There you go, that is 2 years of growth. I have not had that cut. It should be this length, and it's just broken off to there. So I've now got a sort of a natural Mother's Nature's chemical haircut here. It goes right the way round. It explains why my hair is beginning to do this and then come back out again. It's because the bulk of my hair, the width is here and not at the bottom. These are the straightened ends from left over from when I used to have my hair chemically straightened. That is Olaplex. It's an active ingredient called Bisaminol Dipropyl Dimaleate. It is technically, clinically proven to work. It does rebuild the disulfide bonds within your hair, and that makes it unique. It doesn't add protein, it doesn't coat the hair, it doesn't condition the hair in the sense of making it more manageable or silky or soft. In fact, some people even think it leaves the hair slightly more tangled and less easy to cope with until you use a traditional conditioner over the top. But what it does do is fundamentally, structurally rebuild your hair, and without a doubt, it makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference to my hair. What I do is use it in my routine. I do like both the leave-in conditioning treatment and the conditioning oil, but I also combine it with other things. I combine it with my Kerastase Cement Vermique and my Redken Anti-Snap, which are all of my leave-in. They're the leave-in products that coat the hair, that make it easy to work. These are not coating the hair. These are getting between the bonds in your hair and rebuilding it. If I had to choose one product, I would choose the in-salon step 1 and 2. But if you want to save money and you want it done at home, get the new Olaplex Zero. It works. What could I do without? I could do without the shampoo, I could do without the conditioner, I could even do without step 3, I'll be really honest. If I was to choose one, I would choose the step 0 to work at home, and then for me, I like the leave-in number 6. But a lot of people like the oil. I had the oil used on my hair the other day. It did not weigh my hair down at all. I just got a really good shine to my hair. I had it done in salon at Salon Sloan, which is where I get my hair coloured. It's just been newly coloured, as you can tell. That's Olaplex. Thank you to the incredible Lab Muffin, Michelle Wong, who I had as a guest on here. I shall link below. You should follow her anyway. She's got a larger YouTube channel than I have. She demystifies the science of skincare, but I warn you, you need to get your brain in gear before you engage with her content. She is one smart cookie. She's also got the best colour hair in the world. She has naturally really dark hair, and she has it lightened to white and then goes various different colours, normally purple. And as you'll see, and I will link her blog post to Olaplex below, you'll see that she manages to go all shades under the rainbow, but mainly purple, and her hair is still in great condition. Also, by the way, she's a complete silicone addict, as I am too. Let's stop demonising silicone in hair care, because I absolutely love it. I'd be much more fly away if I didn't have any silicone in my hair. Thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, and I'll see you soon. This is Olaplex. Not paid a penny by them, but thank heavens I've actually got some hair left, because without them I wouldn't have. I'd be a little bit more bald and patchy.